this podcast will identify 9 places the water cycle can start, tell you where it moves to, and how it gets there. The basic water cycle consists of water rising to the atmosphere through evaporation and returning to the land and oceans through precipitation and condensation. Evaporation is when the water from the ground and oceans is cycled into the sky and forms clouds. Precipitation is when the clouds get full and the water is cycled back down to earth. Condensation is due to the air cooling and resulting in fog and early morning moisture on the ground called dew. One of the places the water cycle can start is in the soil surface. From there, it moves to plants, rivers, groundwater, clouds, and can stay in the soil surface. The way it gets there is the roots of plants absorb water, water runs off from the soil into a river, water is filtered through the soil to the groundwater, water is heated until it evaporates and forms clouds, water stays on the surface of the soil. Another way the water cycle can start is in a plant. From there, it moves to clouds and can stay in the plant. The way it gets there is water leaves the plant in the form of water vapor through transpiration and forms clouds, and the plant uses water. The third place the water cycle can start is at the river. From there, it moves to lakes, groundwater, oceans, animals, clouds, and the river. The way it gets there is water flows from a river to a lake, water is filtered through the soil to the groundwater, water flows from a river to the ocean, an animal drinks the water, water is heated until it evaporates and forms clouds, water remains in the current of the river. The fourth place the water cycle can start is in the clouds. From there, it moves to soil surface, glaciers, lakes, oceans, clouds, and the river. The way it gets there is water condenses, precipitates, and falls onto the soil. Water falls as snow onto a glacier and becomes part of the glacier. Water condenses, precipitates, and falls into a lake. Water condenses, precipitates, and falls into the ocean. Water remains as a water droplet within a cloud. Water condenses, precipitates, and falls into a river. The fifth place the water cycle can start is the ocean. From there, it moves to clouds and stays in the ocean. The way it gets there is water is heated until it evaporates and forms clouds, or water remains in the ocean. The sixth place the water cycle can start is at a lake. From there, it moves to groundwater, animals, rivers, clouds, and the lake. The way it gets there is water is filtered through the soil to the groundwater. An animal drinks the water. Water flows into a river from the lake. Water is heated until it evaporates and forms clouds. Water remains in the lake. The seventh place the water cycle can start is in an animal. From there, it moves to soil surface, clouds, or remains in the animal. The way it gets there is animals excrete water through urine and feces onto the soil. Water is emitted by animals through respiration and evaporation and rises to form clouds, or the animal use water. The eighth place the water cycle can start is in the groundwater. From there, it moves to rivers, lakes, or the groundwater. The way it gets there is water filters through the soil to a river. water filters through the soil to a lake where the water stays underground. The ninth and final place the water cycle can start is in a glacier. From there, it moves to groundwater, clouds, river, or in the glacier. The way it gets there is ice melts and water filters underground. Ice evaporates through the process of sublimation, and the water vapor forms clouds. Ice melts and flows into a river. Ice remains in the glacier. As you can see, the water cycle can move through various things, and I have explained 9 of the places it can start, where it can lead to, and how it gets there. Thank you for listening to this podcast about the water cycle.